Wisdom from Dads, Episode 2, Being a Great Second Dad. I hope you're having a great day today. This is Mark from Wisdom from Dads, providing a new perspective on lessons for the family, including entertaining stories, knowledge, humor, life lessons, mistakes, heartbreaks, and true love. All delivered so you can share it with your family, either by the fire, after dinner, even on a hike, and thus generate lively, fun discussions for your own family. Let's strengthen our families together. Our story today is about me being a second dad to my daughter, Aurora. Our story today is about me being a second dad to my daughter, Aurora. Yes, you could say I'm her stepdad, but I use different terminologies, and there's reasons for that. This is a little bit of an emotional topic for me, and so bear with me if I'm a little bit emotional over this. I met her about a year before we got married. So what I want to bring up is that I recognized when I first met Natalie that Aurora was part of the package. It wasn't just like me and Natalie were going to get married and Aurora wasn't part of the family. Aurora and Natalie were both part of the family, and I was joining them to some greater or lesser extent. And so that had to be considered in our relationship as part of it. So when we got married, on our wedding day, we actually gave a necklace to Aurora that had 3 hearts on it as part of the ceremony to signify that we were now becoming a new family, 3 hearts in one. Even though I was giving the wedding ring to Natalie and marrying her, it was actually a new family we were forming of 3 hearts into one, and that's the necklace that we gave Aurora to signify that 3 hearts are now joined together in one family. And so now, when I refer to her, as much as humanly possible, I refer to her as my daughter, and I request that she refers to me as her dad rather than her stepdad, or at least avoids using the terminology of stepdad. There are some times when it's just expedient to use that terminology, but I try to avoid it. So I really treat her as much as possible as if she was my daughter. She is from Natalie's first marriage, but it doesn't matter that much when you're raising a kid day in and day out and she's in your household. She's, for all intents and purposes, your daughter, and there's no reason to think of her in any other way than being your direct daughter. Yes, she has a biological dad from Natalie's first marriage, and he's a great guy, and I can't take his role away from him. He has his own role, but I need to be the best dad that I can be, and part of that is treating her as if she's my child. Because when she's with me, she is. Even when she's not with me, she still is my daughter. And that's just how it is. So early on, let's go through Aurora and my journey together. She was rebellious of somebody getting in the way of her and her mom's relationship. And so I was the intruder and stole away attention from her. So she wasn't really quite sure how to interact with me. I did have the scary male voice, which worried her and scared her a little bit when I would use it. And so initially, we adopted that when I told Aurora to do something, it was simply extending the authority of Natalie. And so now we'd say, hey, clean your room. And if the room didn't get cleaned, I might come along and say, hey, your mama said to clean your room, you need to make it happen. So it wasn't that I was assuming my own authority, but I was just extending the authority that Natalie had already directed. And that worked really well for us. Another thing that works well with us is both Aurora and I have this same love language, which is quality time spent together. So we enjoy hanging out and do things together. Currently, we're watching Once Upon a Time together, and it's a fun thing to do to spend quality time together. And both of us really love doing it. So we have a very good connection. And part of that is because I haven't taken on being a dad as something that wasn't a primary concern to me, that I had outsourced being a dad to her biological dad. I took it on fully as my responsibility to make her the best woman that she can be. As a matter of fact, I met Natalie's ex while we were dating, and we had a conversation about parenting together. And I assured him that it was my intention to not undermine him in any way, shape, or form, and to really, in our household, support him, because him being undermined would only undermine my own authority. And really, Aurora's image of men and her father figure is closely tied to her biological dad. And so I am here to champion him in our household because it helps her to have a good image of men in general and dads in general. And Aurora really has two dads. She has two great dads. She is doubly blessed in that manner. So you want to hear a story? I have two stories, actually. The first story happens in Easter of 2009. Nal and I had been dating for about a year and a half. And we went to church in the morning. And then later in the day, about 4:30 or so, we thought, hey, it'd be fun to go hot tubbing. So we packed up the car with Natalie, Aurora, and we grabbed Lacey, our Labradoodle puppy, who's about 20 pounds or so, very spunky, a fun young puppy. And we went to the pool together. At the pool, we were all having a ton of fun hopping in the hot tub. And Aurora and Lacey have a little bit of an adversarial relationship. Aurora likes Lacey, but she also is a little competitive with her also, which is probably natural if you're an only child and you have a dog thrown into the mix. And so she was hassling Lacey and splashing water on Lacey, and we told her to stop it numerous times. It was just like going on and on and on. And finally, Natalie and I were sitting in the hot tub, and Aurora grabbed Lacey, picked her up, and tossed her into the hot tub. And so both Natalie and I were shocked that Lacey's now like trying to doggy paddle in the hot tub to get out, not sure how to get the sides really a little bit too high for her to get out. So we're like, whoa. So I walk over there and grab her, and she's like trying to doggy paddle up my arm to get out. And finally I get her out and put her on the side, and we're just like, I cannot believe that just happened. So we got home and put Aurora to bed and relaxed a little bit. It had been a very stressful day. And we were sitting around the median in the kitchen, just sitting and talking. And I had a plan. I'd had a plan for a while, and I thought Easter was a good day as any day. It had been a rough day, but I was committed to my plan. And so I got down on one knee and I asked Natalie, will you marry me? And she was near to flabbergasted. And she looked at me like, do you see what you're getting? Do you see our day, how crazy it's been? Do you know what you're getting into? And I did. That was what I chose. I chose the entire family, Lacey, the dog that got thrown in the hot tub, Aurora, a crazy girl that would throw her in the hot tub, and Natalie, my loving wife. And now we are one family together, and we have two younger boys now also added to the mix. So we now have a family of 5. So fast forward to this week. So we homeschooled Aurora the last year and a half or so, and we just recently sent her to a private Christian school near us. And she's been only going there for 3.5 months or so. And they're running elections for the 8th grade year of the student government. And Aurora said, hey, I'm going to run for secretary, which is number 3 position in student government. There are 3 other people running against her, but I thought she'd win. She's very intelligent, well-spoken. She's got a drama background. She's great on stage, and people love her. So I called and asked her what happened with the elections from work. And she said, yes, I won. And so I congratulated her. And then after that, she's like, hey, is there any chance that you can come by dance tonight and take me out afterwards for ice cream to celebrate me winning? So I got home from work, and Natalie had taken Aurora to dance, and it happened that Natalie took her food at the break also. And then when it was time to go pick her up, I asked Natalie, hey, do you want to go pick her up, or should I go pick her up? And Natalie said, hey, Aurora actually wanted to go to ice cream with you after dance. I was a little surprised. Natalie and Aurora are thick as thieves. They do everything together, really close. And so the fact that after winning her election against all odds for her 8th grade student government, she was choosing to go to ice cream with me to celebrate when she could have gone to ice cream with Natalie. And I like that a lot. It's quality time, and so it's both our love languages, and it's just awesome that things have come far enough along that she's accepted me enough as a father figure in her life that she chooses to go celebrate with me when she could go celebrate with her mama. And that is precious.
Coming up next episode, I will get feedback from my wife, Natalie, and Aurora, our daughter, on this episode. Until then, God bless and have a great week. I'll be chatting with you soon.